To be seen.
To be heard.
To be seen as you are.
To be heard and know the listener is trying to understand.
To be seen as you are and accepted.
To be heard and understood.
I started experiencing terrible panic attacks. I decided I needed help. The first person I was assigned to, I did not feel comfortable with. Until I found someone that made me feel comfortable, I felt embarrassed and doubted what I was feeling. I was too scared to tell them that they weren't helping me because they weren't the right match. It's okay to change your counsellor. They won't take it personally. At 16, I didn't know that. Now, I'm 18, and I rarely experience mental difficulties. There's the odd trigger here and there, but overall, I feel great.
And waiting.
And waiting for help.
Suffering.
And waiting.
There once was a girl and she had a little cloud right above her forehead. And when the day was good, it was very, very good. But when it was bad, it was horrid. Sometimes she couldn't go to college. Some days she couldn't work. And she just felt as if she was constantly being rained on. One day she decided something had to happen. So she went to Jigsaw, and they gave her a light rain jacket to cope with the rain. And that was okay for a while. Then she went to another therapist, and he gave her an umbrella to fight against the storm. Then she got tablets to stabilise it, and these helped, so she stopped taking them. Then she met another psychologist. He took away the umbrella and got her to look inside herself. And she realised that the cloud was something she'd created unknowingly, and that was okay. Because if she created it, she could manage it. And she started to become herself again, and it rained less, and she smiled more.
To be heard.
To be seen. A confusing, disjointed web of opening and closing office doors. Being asked, do I really need it? Repeat. Well-meaning, forced handshakes. Warm and cold together. Distinguished, yet not differentiated.
At the beginning of TY, I started feeling down and sad all the time. This continued throughout the year, and at some point, I got so frustrated, I would just lash out at everyone and everything. I didn't feel comfortable enough going to a GP. I was left helpless. Every secondary school should have a school psychologist on campus. My ideal mental health service would most importantly be free or affordable. I would advise checking local resources like youth clubs and resources online like Spun Out, Jigsaw, Aware and Turn to Me.
Reaching out for help has been the best thing I've ever done, but also the most difficult. Looking back at my fragile 15-year-old self, I wish I could tell her that it would get better and that reaching out was the best thing to do. It really was a matter of life and death. In 2016, I started a weekly teen group in CAMS. When I first began, I was like a different girl. Frail, always shaking with anxiety, and unable to carry small talk. By the time I left, my confidence and my outlook on mental health had completely changed. When I left CAMS, it was very difficult to start over with a new support system. The adult mental health services provided 3 appointments every few months. I may have gotten a diagnosis, but other than that, I felt no support, community, or like they cared. I was seen by someone different every time, one of which was an 8-minute phone call. I left those services and found a wonderful psychotherapist. However, I am lucky that I can afford this service.
Confused. Overwhelmed. At sea.
Lost.
How do I navigate this system? How can I find myself?
My cries were ignored.
My cries were ignored.
Getting help can seem dramatic. It can feel like an admittance of defeat, offering up a big white flag to a part of your mind that you spent a long time fighting. But it's not. A white flag is not always a surrender. It's also a sign of peace. Thanks to my time with therapy, I understand that my insecurities and fears don't have to control and inhibit me. I've learned that self-worth comes through the ability to have respect for and confidence in yourself, despite whatever perceived failures you've had.
You meet people and you talk to them and you are heard.
It is not weak to ask for help.
Courage.
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 I've been to the city built of shiny concrete, walked by streams of dry water, and broken beams of soft steel.
I've climbed to the top of flat mountains, danced to silent music, and stared at dark fire in a stove.
I've read books of blank paper, been burnt by snow, and fell up a cliff.
I've seen sense in madness.
Agony is triumph.
And lived the loophole of life.